The word solstice literally means the sun standing still. For 3 days in midwinter, ancient astronomers watched the sun hit its lowest point on the horizon and just stop. To them, this pause was the observable death of a star. Modern physics frames this differently. This isn't a literal death, but a massive system reaching its absolute limit of kinetic exhaustion. The star is bleeding out its forward momentum before it can flip its polarity and reverse course. This is the D10 axis, a boundary of maximum entropy. In this state, a system expands until it hits a rigid limit where all forward motion ceases. It represents the physical world of decay, deterministic laws, and finite resources. The solar silence of the solstice is the universe's way of demonstrating this exhaustion on a cosmic scale. It is the visible proof of a system running completely out of material fuel. The Qur'anic story of King Solomon provides the perfect model for this material exhaustion. It illustrates the danger of relying on structures that have reached their limit. In chapter 34, Solomon dies while standing perfectly upright. He is supported entirely by his physical staff, and to the outside world, he appears to be alive and in command. His subjects, the jinn, continue to labor under immense pressure. They keep the kingdom running, completely unaware that the central command of their entire system has already died. The failure is hidden. A termite eats the staff from the inside, and the moment material support is severed, the entire kingdom collapses into dust. This termite represents the invisible, inevitable collapse of any system that relies purely on material D10 momentum. Without a living internal core, the structure is already a shell. Like Solomon's kingdom, the visible universe during the solstice persists only on residual energy. It masks a dead center. The second day of the solstice is the T3 buffer, a mathematical 0 point. It is the gap where old momentum has died, but new momentum hasn't yet begun. This 0 point corresponds to the Qur'anic narrative of Zachariah. He finds himself at a biological limit, facing terminal old age and total barrenness. In this state of absolute exhaustion, the system receives an impossible signal. A new magnetic seed is injected into the void. This seed is Yahya, the executable command. He lives. He is a discrete node of high-frequency energy injected into the system's flatline. This living coordinate is planted at the point of maximum death, anchoring the system against structural collapse as the old field fades. Order does not slowly evolve out of the void. It is a command injected precisely when the material system fails. On the third day, the magnetic field inverts. The pause breaks, and the sun begins its northward climb back to life. This is the I-9 return. It is the phase where the scattered energy of the system returns to its source as a single coherent wave. We see this upward phase in the narrative of Isa, or Jesus. In the cradle, as a newborn, he executes the impossible by speaking to his people. Isa's voice is light surviving the polarity flip. Like a wave rebounding upward, he is the unbroken word speaking from absolute physical death. Yahya and Isa form a closed loop. They prove that foundational truth is never killed by entropy. It is only conserved and raised. This cosmic cycle exists to remind you of your own position in the system. You aren't just watching the sun, you are part of the circuit. The grid-like precision of these gold leaf borders reveals an engineered architectural map. This coordinate system functions as an Eternal Memory Tesseract, a structure designed to preserve the memory of the cosmic loop, even when the physical world around it fails. Contrast that structural precision with this mummy. The dried floral garlands are a record of the failure to preserve a material body. While the physical D10 world eventually breaks down into dust, the information encoded in the book's grid remains uncorrupted. Reading this book passively makes you a victim of the cycle. Reading it operationally makes you the axis it revolves around. To survive the intersection of decay and rebirth, you must act as the biological centromere of a dividing cell. Notice the dense central pinch point physically holding the X shape of these purple chromosomes together against separating forces. Without that precise central grip, the structure fragments into dead, disconnected strands. This is the definition of material and spiritual collapse. The universe's code contains the exact executable command required to engage this grape. It is verse 19:12. O Yahya, take the book with strength. Strength, or quwwah, is the conscious override. It is the intentional act that activates the 0 point within you, permanently halting internal entropy. The cosmic system is currently paused and waiting in the silence. When will you activate 1912?